and we welcome in former New York Giant Ron Dixon. Ron Dixon, how you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. How's it going?
Oh, we're doing good. We're getting ready for the Super Bowl. I just asked a question to my sidekick here. We asked it before break. You're an athlete, so if obviously if money at the time wasn't an issue, what would you be willing to pay on a Super Bowl ticket?
Well, like you said, if money isn't the issue and it's your team and you think it's going to be an exciting game, I mean, no telling where you go up to. I like a $20,000 spot, but like you said, if it wasn't the issue, somebody may pay $100. I don't know myself.
Yeah, there you go. 20 grand seems a number. You're a former Giant. My co-host here is a Giant fan, so 20 grand seems like a good number for you. I got a quick question. I'm going to get this out of the way. It's been in the air for the last 2 weeks, so I'll knock this question right off the bat. In your playing career, how much did you ever hear about air pressure in a football when you were on the field?
Not one time.
All right, that's all I need.
Not one time. Because I was telling people, like, I'm not familiar with that tactic at all. I was like, I told them that's the first time I've even heard of a quarterback wanting to do that or thinking about doing that.
It's interesting. It was a media circus in Arizona this week. When you played in the Super Bowl against the Ravens, what was the week like leading up to the Super Bowl?
Oh, it was absolutely amazing. It was a whole lot going on. Full of excitement in the air. And I tell people it's more than just a game. It's an event that starts like that Wednesday. Really, people start pouring in and parties everywhere. And, it just becomes a hassle being a player because now you have every family member you've ever come across and some you haven't met wanting a Super Bowl ticket. So it gets frustrating being a player.
Awesome, Ron, and I appreciate your effort in that Super Bowl. That was pretty awesome with that kick return.
Oh man, I have so many people talk about that who remembers that, from being at Super Bowl parties and bring it up to me. And I have to say it was a very, very exciting time.
Yeah, that's awesome. Tell me a little bit about preparing and playing for the game. How much could these media distractions, be it deflation of footballs for one team or whatever the Seahawks. I don't know if they have any problems going on, but is there any distractions there because it is such a long week? But you guys do have to practice and prepare.
Oh yeah, I think it. With the week rest, it could be a big time of distraction because you have so many media outlets who just they're looking for stories, trying to create stories, making stories where there aren't a story. And you being a player, you want to you're excited about it, especially if you've never played in the Super Bowl. You don't really know what's going on. You just watch it on television. So you're excited about it and you want to try to soak all of that in. But at the same time, you have a game to play. And that's not the time for you to be observant and, get caught up in the pageantry of what the Super Bowl is. So it could be a big distraction.
You were talking a little bit about Media Day and I guess the whole week in general. What were some crazy questions that were asked to you during that week or even just crazy questions you heard asked to other people?
Well, Ron, how do you feel about playing in the Super Bowl? What do you mean, how do I feel about that? It's been so long ago, man, I can't really remember. It's just like, when someone asks you some obvious question, like, are you happy to be here? Do you hope you guys win? Things like that.
Oh.
It's crazy.
We're talking with Ron Dixon, former New York Giant. Next question for you is the Super Bowl being played and that week, and like my sidekick, the dude, brought up about how it's hard to prepare because you have all these distractions going on, media events and so forth. What did you yourself do to prepare yourself mentally for that week?
Well, you have to understand, I didn't know what to prepare for. So it wasn't like, I wasn't even thinking about the media being a distraction. I just, with being in New York, like we're used to that. You may get some teams who now you may have one reporter there, 2, 3 people, reporters at their practice every day. But we had tons of media at practice all the time, with it being the market that it is in New York. But I just went with the flow. We got to be here, got to do this, do that. And I still remember, our media day and just being excited about it. And, because a year from that, I was playing in a little NAI school, school I played at was so small we didn't have lights. So I was, I don't want to say I was caught up. I was just excited about it. A lot of those other guys, played at LSU and Notre Dame, so they used to all that kind of big stuff. But for me, it wasn't. I don't want to say it blew my mind. I didn't get caught up in the moment. I was just going with the flow. Playing, answering questions, getting ready to play football.
This year's halftime performance is going to be done by Katy Perry. The reason I bring up the halftime and Katy Perry this year is because when you played in the Super Bowl, the halftime performers were NSYNC, Britney Spears, Aerosmith, Mary J. Blige, and Nelly. Question for you is, what was going on in that locker room at halftime while everybody in the world was watching NSYNC perform on that stage?
It was the same type of deal that happens. It's halftime. We're out there playing a football game now, so I couldn't even tell you who was playing at halftime. I remember Ray Charles thing in the beginning. That's pretty much all I remember. The only difference is basically the pregame is a lot longer, because they have so much going on. But, once you get to playing football, man, you don't even think about the millions of – I didn't, of course. Before you think about all the millions and millions of people who are watching and the stage that you're playing on. But after the kickoff is, now we're back to playing football. It's all about football.
Yeah, like Ron, like I mentioned earlier about that kickoff return in the Super Bowl, you also had one a couple weeks before that in the championship game.
No, it was against the Eagles in the one the first playoff game.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. So now you hold a record for the most kickoff returns for a touchdown in the postseason with 2.
You got it.
Did you know that? It. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Now look, you got drafted in 2000. You guys went to the Super Bowl the first year.
Right.
You're playing and everything. I mean, you must be going a million miles an hour in your head and thinking everything's gonna be going great. And just kind of give me like how awesome was that? Getting drafted and going to the Super Bowl.
I remember going through the whole process and being drafted and wanting to be drafted and coming to New York. I used to have family in Albany and Syracuse. So I used to be up every summer and always wanted to just grow up in New York and then to be drafted by them. It was absolutely phenomenal. But I recall Ron Dane and I talking, and we were saying, like, the only thing we knew at the time was going straight to the Super Bowl. Having a winning season, going to the playoffs and going to the Super Bowl. At that time, hey, that's been our first year. We was like, hey, that's all we know.
Yeah.
That's how we do. And we remember talking with Lomas, who I think had been in the league 17 years or something like that. And that was his first run. So, yeah, that sticks out in my mind.
Yeah.
All right, I have a question for you. I got to go there and ask you because that Super Bowl, I felt like there was flags being thrown everywhere. You returned the ball 97 yards for a touchdown. Ron Dixon, you cross the plane, you drop the football, and you celebrate the touchdown. If for some reason you turn around, you look, and you see a ref throw a flag, what's the first thing that you think pops into your head?
I don't know if I can do this again. You never want to do that. You never want to have a run like that and turn around and there's flags everywhere, because I think that takes a whole lot out of a return team. Just having to do all that sprinting over again and to have the wind taken from up under your sails like that, it's kind of crushing.
Now that Ravens defense you guys went up against was pretty fierce that year. I mean, tell me just from on the other side of the ball, what are some of the things that they did? Did they intimidate at all? Did they do anything? They knew what their game plan was.
I just remember them being everywhere.
Yeah.
Like they were in our huddle. As Garrett was calling the plays, and like they would be jumping routes before he even let the ball go. I think he had like 4 or 5 interceptions that game.
Oh yeah, something like that.
And just flying around, being everywhere.
Yeah.
Outside of playing in the Super Bowl, what was the best thing that you got to experience being a player in the NFL?
I got hurt, and I didn't watch the game on the sideline. I watched the game up in the stands with a lot of fans. And just hearing some of the stories and the excitement And then after football, meeting a lot of Giants fans and going to their homes and seeing how they got the rooms decorated and just listening to the history and stories of their family and being Giants fans. That's what I thought was fantastic, and I still think that to this day.
Awesome stuff.
I love meeting my Giants fans, and I live in Orlando, Florida, and they are everywhere here.
Yeah, we're
in
all
the
over
state
the
of Florida.
All right, 2 more questions before we get you out of here. My sidekick will give you the first one.
Yeah, Ron, we need a prediction from you, buddy. Who's going to win tomorrow's big game?
Seahawks. Russell Wilson has beat Manning. Now I want him to beat Brady.
There you go.
All right,
spoken like a true Giant.
Last question before we get you out of here. We ask all our guests for this. It's for a last call. It's a shout out to something in sports. It could be anything you want. It's a shout out. So today, Ron Dixon, the night before the Super Bowl, what would Ron Dixon, former New York Giant, what's your last call this evening?
Whoa. Let me, because you was going in and out. I'm misunderstanding. What you want me to do?
We do it like a last call. Basically, the last call is like it's a shout out to something in sports. It could be anything you want, give a bang to somebody or a good try to somebody or anything that you want. So what would Ron Dixon's last call be?
Yeah, I'm shouting out to them Seahawks to get it done. Russell Wilson, beast mode. Running up and down the field on them guys, just getting it done.
Good stuff.
That's my shout out.
Good stuff, Ron. Hopefully we can catch up with you again soon down the road. You're always a great guest.
Anytime.
Awesome,
Anytime.
buddy. Awesome. Look forward to talking to you again, all right?
All right, guys.
Thanks, Ron.